Are your personal interactions with white people worse than ever?
Yeah. So if you've turned on the news or even glanced at social media over the last few years, you'd probably be under the impression that race relations, particularly between white and black Americans, is at an all-time low. The race wars are on the way, if you will, because you have black people speak on behalf of black people, white people speak on behalf of white people, black people telling white people, white people apologizing to black people, but you don't often see black people and white people just talking. Is this reflective of our real world experiences? I think you may be surprised with what I found when I actually went out and did something crazy, talked with people. This is Black and White on the Gray Issues. First question, I guess, to you is, what would you say race relations are like in the States right now? Where do you think they are?
I think it's almost even, man. Whereas, what I mean when I say even, like, okay, you know, there's still some work to be done,
Sure.
but there's not as much work that needs to be done. Because when you think about race relations right now, today,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, everybody is basically communicating with each other. Everybody's doing their thing together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're linking up on different fronts.
Good morning.
Taking care of their business, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, you got some people that are dummies who really don't, you say, want to get with the program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you got, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things going on in the world.
Yeah. Well, you're always going to have individual racists, right? People who are racist. But it sounds to me like you're saying you think that they're better now than they were before. That they're...
No, I'm saying times are better.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to Emmett Till, people like that,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? The times then versus the times now.
Yeah.
If you come to deep Ellum,
Yeah.
and you're going to see.
Then we kind of ended up with more of that, right? Emmett Till and Me Too came out, and there were a bunch of people being falsely accused.
But on the same token, what I'm saying, like, you saying race relations and issues, when I come to deep Ellum, that's all I see is everybody's, you know, just like connected with each other.
Well, that's what I see in real life, but I mean in the media. You know, in the media, oftentimes things are stoked, where they make it seem like it's worse. I mean, you know, no, you don't think so? Well, that's a good thing.
I really think that, like, the media function is like on a scale bigger than what people think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that, like, I really believe that today, how the media operate, it can't operate with that basic regular stuff that it used to operate with.
Right.
So they have to go like deep cover.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And really get the good juice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah. So you think media has an interest in controversy and making race relations seem worse than they are in real
Turning,
life?
aren't you?
Yeah. That's what I find too. I find that my interactions, you know, having been raised in a church where it's mixed, you know, a lot of black people in church, and being a comic, you know, being around a lot of guys, my interactions are very different from what you see in the media as far as the
When we say this here, man.
Yeah.
See, like, when you start putting labels on things, that's when things get messed up, right?
Right.
So, like, bam, if we all American, right? We all American, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if I go to a hospital and I need a blood transfusion, right? I can't say, don't put that white blood in me, or that Mexican blood. They're gonna give it. I hope it, you know what I'm saying, work.
That's a good analogy.
Oh, good. Oh, God.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that ever since people put analogies on, that's when it got messed up.
Yeah.
Because now you can view this as something different.
Right. That's a black thing. That's a white thing.
Black.
Yeah.
He's white. But see, you know what I'm saying? What about the American culture?
Yeah. So
The great melting pot.
are you proud to be American?
Right.
Yeah, man. You think it's a great country, flaws, but proud to be American?
Yeah.
So what do you, and that's been my, you know, experience with both white and black Americans. What do you think about, you know, obviously it's having deep down, like Black Lives Matter?
I think all lives matter.
Oh shoot!
But I think that people.
But if I say that, I'm a white supremacist, right? They said you can't say that. It was a racist term.
Listen, this is what I think that all people do. I think all people use the race issue as a platform for some bullshit sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes they let alcohol, things of that nature, you understand me, wiring them up to say some shit that they really don't mean.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Good chopper.
You know what I'm saying? No, it's kind of like crazy. Like
Morning.
You might be with some of your white partners, y'all out drinking. So, bam, and y'all can have some words with someone and then heard your boom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. Because if I said I'm going to have a bunch of fists coming down.
People that do that, you have people that do that under the influence, and then the next day regret that they did something.
Okay. So you're saying someone could say that in a moment of anger and not be a racist, just be mad.
Most definitely.
Like if you get mad or something, and you're with a friend and you say, I hate, or like when you're a kid, you say, Dad, I hate you. You don't really hate him. You're just like, we got to go fuck. So someone could just say something that doesn't mean they're a racist. It means they had a moment of weakness and anger. Yeah. No, I agree. And then we judge people at their worst moment. And that's really messed up.
Everybody gonna get judged.
Yep.
I really appreciate the opportunity.
Well, let me ask, I appreciate it too, man. I actually think your point of view is refreshing, that people should hear this. Because a lot of people out there, I will tell you this, a lot of white people out there are scared to have conversations. They're scared because they're scared. A lot of white people are, man, because they're afraid of being called a racist.
I'm telling you, it's the ones that ain't got no business going on, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're scared because if you got some business going on, man,
yeah,
money don't have color, bro.
Right.
You feel me? So you got to deal with everybody. So you have to have relationships with different types of people, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Chopper.
So that means that, you understand me, as an American, in America, I got to be like, switching up to be a man.
Played some golf Saturday. Regretted it. That's why I didn't get on yesterday. I was so fucking sore. I ain't played golf in so long. Man, I was hurting.
Yeah, not being colorblind, but we have more in common than we have that's different.
But we also need to unify on different fronts, you understand me, and get all these different, you understand me, ideologies and social programs and all this jump that's jumping off. Get that, man, move that out the way, man.
Yeah.
Let's just live life, man. If you do so, take your lick.
Yeah, take responsibility for it.
I will.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate it. That's one thing that I appreciate is the accountability culture. What you're talking about.
Nowadays, you got a lot of people out here, they're not taking accountability.
No. You think that's the big problem on all fronts?
I think so.
I agree.
See, like if you got one finger pointing at you, you got one pointing back too, because your thumb pointing back at you.
That'd be a white ass finger too. He's as white as they get. That's Russian. This dude right here.
He needs some sunlight.
He's got SPF ozone layer on right now.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let me ask you a couple. So these are like some issues that you hear about in the media, and they turn it into a racial issue. And I don't think it is, right? Do you think, for example, voting, to have identification, just any kind of ID, does that make sense to you? You think you should have ID to vote?
I think the only way you should have ID or need ID is if there is a census. See, if there's a census, that means that you don't count everybody, so you know how many people live in the county, right?
Right.
So, bam. So if we got, say, 50,000 in the county,
Mm-hmm.
then, you gotta have a census. You gotta have ID. So now your ID validates your vote.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's exactly. Yeah. I think we agree on that one. Right now, a big cultural issue going on. People like biological men trans men.
If you smoke club, you die.
Hey, I
don't think you die.
I think that should be done. I think that.
Be right back. I gotta get some
if you're
gas
going
and
to
some.
do,
Holy shit, that's a
no
blow
matter
there,
what
isn't
his
it?
sexuality is,
Wow.
I think that he's still in the eyes of man and God gonna remain a dude.
Yeah.
So he
I'll be right
can
back.
take his penis off. He can, inflate his chest.
Yeah.
He can put it in his butt. It's still a dude.
I don't know what he does with his butt. I don't think that's part of the procedure.
He still got testosterone, man.
Yeah, or at least he did. No, that's a big issue. Well, here, do you think it's crazy though that what you just said, and I agree with you, could be labeled hate speech, right? Because now they'll say, "Oh, you're transphobic."
No. Because look, this people don't understand. Like what they have made homosexuality a mental disease, man. You know what I'm saying? You can be put on psych medication to be a homosexual.
Yeah.
Or for being, just because you're a homosexual.
What you're saying now, they've been like enabled it with the sports stuff where it's like, yeah, you can't have dudes compete.
No, I'm talking about they have a psych term.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like say this dude is homosexual, you can go in the DSM new book and look up a diagnosis up under homosexuality.
Yeah, well, they changed it though, like with trans. So did you know that?
Yeah.
They changed it where it used to be body dysmorphia was if you were, claiming you were transgender. They said it was a disorder of someone who thought they were, transgender. But now they changed it to say, oh no, you are actually a woman. It's a symptom of the fact that you're born in the wrong body.
You can't be a woman.
No, yeah.
That's just a lot of people just having too many ideas in their head, man. And then like people take things too literal sometimes, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like religion, all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
So, I think that at the end of the day, man, if you go through your problems and live your problems, and if you happy with what you got going on, then everything's great with you.
We're all Americans, right? And you believe in personal accountability.
That's
all
right.
lives matter. People need to stop making it all about race.
That's right. And no snitching.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hey, that's one thing I do appreciate about the black community for sure. I've had a few of these guys are snitches. I'm not sure that they're not. Hey, bro. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, oh, man. I appreciate it, man. That was refreshing. Thanks. Josiah, nice to meet you, Josiah. Hey, let me grab this. Last time I was doing an interview there, they opened the door and it hit us, so I'm an idiot. So, where's the best place for us to be? How would you sort of characterize, or how do you do like race relations in the United States right now? How do you see it?
I do believe a lot of it is an agenda. So again, I look at the things from like a micro level, like the things that they are portraying and projecting right now. I think that is to distract people from what's really important. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at the race issues, and I believe that's what you're talking about right now.
Yeah,
there's a racial divide.
That's what the media portray. How they portray it.
Yeah. I don't necessarily believe that. I'm a light-skinned person myself, so if you know what that means.
Not compared to these guys. I mean, unless you're translucent.
Yeah. I'm black and white.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've definitely experienced both sides of the spectrum when it comes to things like that. So I lived in a place like Louisiana, which was very southern, right? And if you know the history of Louisiana, like it's I guess it was a very racial place, but my growing up there in high school, I experienced a lot more racism from the black people than from the white people, and that's
really
weird to say, yeah. But and then when I
like what kind of racism would you experience from black people?
I would say like when you talk about like discrimination against a group, that's what I'm saying. I feel that I was discriminated toward because of lighter skin. Now, the white people in the school, I wouldn't say that there was really any conflict with them between me, and that's what I feel like it is more what the media wants to do, and what I feel like a lot of even black people are struggling with is believing the media and whatnot.
That's surprising. As a not half a completely white person, obviously. I mean, I was raised in Canada. I'm very, very white. We're always told, and especially with Barack Obama, that biracial people are always treated like they're black, right? That's what you hear in the media, and that wasn't your experience.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't believe that that's an experience for most, and I believe that America, a lot of people have a victim mentality, and they don't really ever search truth for themselves, and they just get fed a lot of things and a lot of truths. So yeah, that's what I struggle with a lot, especially a place like Dallas. It's a melting pot, you know what I mean? So it's nice to live in a place like this, but then you also see a lot of people just being distracted by all that's going around them and never really searching truth for themselves. And that's what makes me sad. You know what I mean? I'm a believer. I'm a Christian. I believe in the Word of God. I believe in Jesus. So when I see people being deceived by these things that they're portraying to be big and then actually just distracting them from deeper truth, then I get pretty frustrated by that. So
man, it's refreshing to hear, because you're saying I would agree with pretty much everything you just said. Right. But I think this is an issue, too. Like, I obviously think racism exists to some degree. There are individual racists, like you've experienced it. White people are what you just said, white people will be afraid to say because they'd be afraid to be accused of being racist. Right. That is a fear right now, which I will tell you creates a divide. Like when Black Lives Matter happened. Right. We just talked with 2 or 3 guys. I said, man, I think all lives matter. And I said, now, white people were called supremacists if they said that. So they go, I'm just not going to voice an opinion. That creates more distance. Do you sense that a little bit, where maybe white people are kind of pulling back because they're afraid of it's a witch hunt, that everything is racist? If they express the exact same opinions, most white people, that's 100% common.
Yeah, and that's what I say, that there needs to, instead of starting a group that is labeled Black Lives Matter, which again, like so I see a lot on the media, right? Like when somebody will post like, "Oh, this strong black woman," and then and that happens by the black community where they continue to describe themselves and kind of belittle themselves by their skin color. That like,
Quick trip.
That's what's important about me. I mean, what I'm saying. And
I don't hardly ever go to any of those. There's none around here. They're all speedways. Well, 7-Eleven owns Speedway now, so. And Circle K's, those are the two big stations around.
And I just see like that's a very.
Of course, Kroger has their own gas stations here too.
For anybody, and even as like, let's say I walk around here light skinned, and I started African American. You know what I mean? I walked around here and I made my whole life just about my skin color, and, praising that and lifting that up. I just think that that's the biggest waste of time and a distraction that I think the media tries to push. And I think the best thing they can do is continue to keep tension between racial groups when there really shouldn't be any. Again, in my life, I haven't came across anybody, and when they talk about like systemic racism, that hasn't been my experience with life at all. So I think that people really need to look into their own life experiences and not take the life experiences of certain people and claim that as their own just because it's from their same racial group. So
I think that's very well said. Let me ask you one kind of question in closing. Why do you think you just said? By the way, the mixture, they're white, but a mixture of here with Russian people. Some of those black people are like, I don't white people the same. But everyone would agree with what you just said. Well spoken. Why do you think what you just said is not something that is ever echoed as representative of the black community in the meeting with CNN, places like that? What you just said, you don't hear as a voice in the black community.
I think that the people who do try to speak up in that sense do get shut down and get portrayed as they're crazy or they're psycho or they're mentally ill for having strong opinions. And that's what frustrates me about the media is that like and it's true that people, even on Instagram, you see stuff that is calling out like liberal groups of people. It says sensitive false content. You know what I mean? So you see stuff getting censored like that, and it's like then you see that already there's an agenda that they don't want truth to be made known. So that's what I say. I think it goes a lot deeper than just the conversation of black and white or even what these people are doing. I think that there's a much deeper agenda, and I think it goes all the way down to that the devil has a plan for this world, but God also has one too, and that's Jesus to be made known.
I would certainly agree with you, man. And here's the thing: would it surprise you that like you've spoken with a lot of people, a lot of black men today, and what you're saying is not uncommon. Like there are a lot of dudes who think the same way, but people don't talk.
Yeah,
like, we have a lot more in common than separates us. And I agree. Man, it's a symptom of the heart. Yeah. It's not a symptom of the melanin.
Yeah,
it's not.
I love that. Yeah. So I mean, I appreciate what you guys do. I would say that conversations are very much needed. I love a lot of. I love to work with people who like to sit down and have conversation, and I think that we are starting to see a lot more people rise up and speak truth and kind of get out of.
It just starts with talking, man. Yeah. That's what it is. It just starts with talking with people, not listening to what other people are. It's like a game of telephone. Remember, so what happens with a lot of white people, black people, is like, black people think this. And then it goes, and Dan Jones goes, black people think that. He goes, black people think this. And the white people are like, oh, okay, let me go tell other white people. Black people think this. And then at the end, we're like, oh yeah, all black people are trans activist communists or whatever the hell it is. And people are like, what? That's not what I said. Yeah. I said Apple. Like a phone. I'll just say, hey man, I appreciate it, man. I really do. Thank you. Be blessed, man. For sure.
Now, before we move on to the next conversation, and Josiah was not planned, I absolutely swear, if you appreciate these kind of discussions, hit the like button, comment below. This has surprised you thus far, or if you'd like to see more of these, and do consider checking out the Live Daily Show Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, or preferably Rumble.
How would you sort of characterize race relations in the United States today between like white and black people?
Between white and blacks, again, depending on where you are society-wise,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times your zip code determines your interaction.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if you're from my neck of the woods, it's all
Where are you from?
I'm actually from down that road. But the zip codes is down to dictate or determine
Right.
how often you interact with someone. So, for my profession, I'll say it this way: if I'm on a certain side of town,
Yeah.
and I'm supposed to protect and serve.
Right.
But yet the same if you see me of this,
Yeah.
clutch a purse. Or just the Dominican black guy with tattoos. Always afraid. On the other side of town, it's like, hey, bro, how you doing? Man, keep on moving.
Right.
So it all depends on where you're located and your exposure.
Yeah. So you think that in certain instances, you think that the white people, like you said first, white women are afraid of you?
No, actually, not at all. It all. I think that I have to, as a person speaking for me, I have to be a bit more receiving. Hi, how are you? Pleasure.
Yeah.
And so like
Right.
that interaction, I have to be more than.
And do you find that then the interaction is usually positive if you do that? Yeah. It's disarming.
It's somewhat disarming.
Yeah. Why do you think some people might have that initial reaction if you don't interact that way?
Depending on whatever their experiences have been. For instance, if it's you see the villain on a TV show or on a movie, always. If it's the guy that's putting his mask down, carjacking. And if it's
Dude, no. I gotta disagree. If I have to watch another Simply Safe commercial where it's a white guy who kicks in the door at 2 a.m., come on. I have never seen a commercial ever where a black dude is a criminal.
But they're smarter than that. They wouldn't do that. It'd be the end of the.
Okay, so we agree on that. It's always like some guy who looks like Gary who's like there to like, I'm here to rob your home. Like that's not what happens.
Yeah, but it's I think ideally if you put yourself in an open environment, if you're open to it.
Yeah.
If you go to a park and it's not Highland Park, right? It's not a university park. But if it's just a park, go interact with your kids. Oftentimes, I think that part of society is actually taught to us. This is my own perspective. If you put a group of 5 and 6 year olds around, they can care less,
right?
What the color of your skin,
right?
Or where your zip code is, or how much your 401k is, or something. They can care less,
right?
They're just going to play. They're just going to show love. They're going to have fun. And I think that as adults, as we as society, we get to that basically express, hey man, I see you.
Yeah.
I see a person.
We have more in common than separates us, probably in a lot of ways. But if you watch,
it's pretty nice here today.
Things are always categorized often by race, very often. Now, of course, sex and gender. And I've always found, again, like going to church here in Texas, one I went to in Carroll, it was very mixed. It was almost 50-50.
Absolutely.
Always had very good interactions. There was a disconnect from hold on a second. On TV, they're making it seem like we're worlds apart.
Right.
Those are my interactions on a daily basis.
Absolutely. And even with myself.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know what he's doing.
All right, cool. But in a place such as that, you're supposed to be open, welcoming. Hospitals and churches, everybody's supposed to be
right.
You're welcome. Hey, come on in.
Yeah.
And I think that in society, we shouldn't get too far from there. But you could find a place of, hey, I just want to reach you.
Yeah.
I want to know you. What is it about you?
Well, one thing I'll say, because you talk about sort of your interactions, and maybe some people might clutch their purse, right? Have these sort of preconceived notions. Yeah.
I'm like, man, if anything happened by law, I'd have to protect you.
And I think
I'm not the threat.
Well, and I think for sure there are some people who have those preconceived notions, right? Black people are probably sometimes, like you said, you have to go out of your way because you're concerned of them thinking maybe you're violent. Right. On the flip side, you have white people often now, they're very afraid of interacting with black people because they're afraid of being accused of being racist. That's a fear that a lot of white people have now. Okay. But I think maybe sometimes black people don't. But we all have other kind of concerns because that white woman may have been lied. She may have had a life experience and wants to avoid it. And if we don't talk, it just gets worse. Right? We just separate more and more.
I've had in my experiences as well as I also have a lady out there. She's Caucasian. We have a beautiful transracial baby together. And her experiences and a lot of the things that I've exposed her to about my world before she would ever have known. Because they don't teach that to her. They don't teach certain aspects of culture.
Right.
That side of it.
Yeah.
Kind of big white sparrow continent. They don't teach.
Yeah.
But
it has white in the name.
That's a town.
Yeah. There's also a white settlement. So I came from Canada. I'm like, how the hell do you name a town this? Like, I get away with it. I know. Oh, I get it.
I have nothing to do. That was years.
No. Yeah, I get it.
Just the exposure itself, and now it's more than it's more than. Well, hey, I understand him. I'm receptive to you.
Right.
Okay.
he's not bad. His family isn't bad. They're not bad. They're loving. Just like everyone else.
What do you think, kind of, especially here in Deep Ellum, what we said the results were afterwards of, since you're saying we don't want to just label people by race, but like Black Lives Matter, and there's a lot of fallout from that. How would you classify that now? You say it was good for relations across the country?
I think the topic itself was specific for that. Not that anything. No one's lives matter. Everyone's lives matter.
Yeah.
In my opinion, even from my aspect, from my side looking, and I'm standing in the front of the line, and I'm the other guy that they're saying, "Hey, F you guys."
Because you're a cop.
They're saying F you guys, but wait.
Right.
They do. My life doesn't matter. You're just mad at me because your uniform is like working at any other place. Whataburger, Walmart. It's my uniform. It's who I am, but it doesn't dictate.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what it was like here for you, but my dad, he was born and raised in Detroit, bad area of Detroit, and the people that had worse there, the worst were black cops in Detroit. They would have to go home in unmarked cars when the riots were happening, because a lot of them were seen as, they would say Uncle Toms. They were threatened. They were targeted. I know. Well, no, it's a good point. It's like using something. You're like, I don't think you know what you're saying. That would be a good start. Yeah, no, that would be a good start. But yeah, black cops in Detroit, I don't know how, but it was really, really bad.
And I think that all lives matter itself, particularly on that time.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, hold up.
Yeah.
Dude is reaching for his wallet. Let him use water.
Right.
And that's saying from both sides of the fence for myself.
Right.
Hey, let him use water.
So,
welcome.
Just said a guy was talking. He said the exact same thing that you just said, right? Everybody's lives matter, all lives matter. Now, here's a question that I would have.
That's fine. I just needed to get on because I hadn't been on all weekend since Friday, my drunk stream. I'm gonna have to curb that. I can't play poker for shit when I've been drinking. And I went to play golf Saturday and I was wore the fuck out. I didn't do nothing but lay on the couch yesterday. I did a little bit of house stuff. Made another batch of jerky. Put bagging that up when I get home tonight.
They were saying, well, hey, we need to fix this. If you think the system is rigged because it's racist, and by the way, I think the justice system has a lot of problems. I think that if you just see it as a white and black thing, you're going to miss a lot of the problems, right? And so saying, if we need to fix this system, you can't just approach it from a racial angle, that all lives matter, that justice matters, period. And it's not being done. Then you can get the solution. But I'm telling you that a lot of white people were scared, obviously, because Brian obviously went up here, had to work up their businesses. They were afraid to voice their opinion, or they challenged it now just talking to them because they're afraid to be called racist.
That's something that's a tone. I never said, hey, not
you, but some media labeled everyone that way. Yeah.
People or black people in the culture, they never said, hey, don't come talk to me. You just automatically shut up and say, well, I can't get
That's my point.
Why?
Yeah.
I didn't tell you that. Nobody told you. Good. I wanted you. I wanted you.
Right.
I want to know what you think. Because if I can get it, if I don't know what's in your head,
Yeah.
I can't hear out of your heart. You have Jesus is written on your chest. The
Yep.
Bible says out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth is going to speak.
Right.
Whatever your mouth says, that was in your heart.
Right.
So, let me know what's in your heart.
Yeah. And that's exactly the point. Like I said, if they don't reach it, it's usually white people using it as a weapon, calling other white people racist, and then they shut down. And then this divide gets created. Let me ask you, these are some hot button issues right now. All right. Let me ask you, right now, a big issue, for example, I think we probably share a lot in common here. Black and white people across the board. Trans men getting biological men and women in sports. That's it. What do you like about that?
I don't have
You don't have an opinion? All right. Okay. Let me ask you this. The idea of, voting, because you said you enforce the law. I don't want to, people vote, right? Voter just any kind of identification. I think that's something like that's turned into a racial issue, which doesn't seem like it should be.
I think it's more difficult for certain people to get it,
Yeah.
the opportunity, and even if you've already paid you should not take it. If you've already paid your debt to society, you've already done what you had to do. Why can't you at this point?
Really, can't you vote?
Yeah, why can't you?
But just to make sure that you're the guy or girl voting.
Well, even still, you often say, hey, my name is John Jacob.
So you go, I'm Smith.
Right.
His name is mine.
Right. Or I'm just saying, my name's here.
He was from Whitesboro, by the way.
Oh my God. True there. Oh my God. No, but I don't know. I think that everybody should have a voice.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, what side of the face you're on, in the middle, or on the right, or on the left. What's your voice?
Yeah. All right, man. And, that's what we're trying to do. And I think it's a lot more productive than what you hear in the media. People sitting around, it's just,
It ain't so bad. It ain't so bad.
There you go.
Down.
You heard it from me.
It ain't so bad.
All right,
We're
man.
gonna do it together. Everybody does it better together.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you taking the time, man. That was really productive. God bless you. Jordan? My brother's name is Jordan. I'm Steve. How would you classify or characterize, where we are as a country right now, racially, between, black, white?
Not a good spot.
Not a good spot? Now you think it's worse?
Yeah.
So, why would you say worse than when, or why?
I mean, it's just. I don't know what the root cause of it is. It's just we're not in a good spot. It's just, I mean, you look at events, and I mean, even most recently that happened this weekend, it's like it just shows where it's kind of like going to race wars. It's just different times.
And this is kind of what you see that in the media, right? A lot. But, being a comedian, having spent a lot of time around black comics, or a lot of black people just disproportionately in comedy, and then going to churches that are very mixed, my interactions on a personal level are very positive. Lifelong relationships. But if you watch the media, you're going to hear about the race wars and the division. Do you think there's maybe that? Are your personal interactions with white people worse than ever?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like what? What kind of stuff they do?
I mean, you have all kinds of stuff. You have the
kinds
of stuff that touch your hair, like your dog. You have the people that, I mean, it's all kinds of different things.
I don't see that.
Yeah, it's just like, okay,
He's full of shit.
Except for the shit from the fashion, so I'm going over here.
That seems like a
All bullshit on them.
race.
Well, I mean, it's like, I'm trying to think of some other things that I've been called names by people.
Yeah.
It's been all kinds of like random things.
It's Scrubzilla.
Inside of places before. It's all kinds of like, it just depends on like where you're at.
Are you from Dallas here originally? What areas? Oh, okay. I'm trying to Mansfield. Where's that?
5
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. It's a nice area. So, what was it like being raised? Like, how would you classify your neighborhood? How would you sort of describe it?
I mean, Mansfield's a primarily white area.
Yeah.
Suburban America.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely was one of like the last school districts in the country to desegregate.
Right.
So yes, they have their problems. I didn't really deal with much there.
Right.
I really was exposed to stuff until I was an adult.
Right. But it was mostly white suburban, so you'd think you'd be exposed to those people. So you're saying when you were young, it was mostly decent?
Yeah.
Interactions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think about, bringing that up? This is a white guy's perspective. The segregation coming back in colleges and black-only spaces. Right? You mentioned to be desegregated. We're moving back toward that. Under different guys, where do you line up on that? Do you think that's productive?
What do you mean?
To have black-only spaces, either in high schools or colleges, right, to label those things. It seems to me, as an ignorant white guy, it's kind of like segregating again.
I can see that. I think it's everybody needs their safe space to where they can go be themselves, where they can really like vibe with other people that are like them. I'm not saying like it should be like white only or black only locations or slots or stuff, but like if you see black people gather in certain places out there.
No, I mean those are policies. Like those are actual policies. Like in schools now, where they'll have black only spaces, which doesn't seem like that's really
was that.
We got to start with Mizzou, right? And there have been a few others in so we just had the affirmative action ruling, where they said no, okay, because Asians were sort of suffering at the hands of Harvard and Brown. Where do you line up on that? Do you think that it's do you think that that's an issue that anyone who would say, I don't think that categorizing people and accepting them by race, even if you disagree with them, does that make that person a racist? Who thinks affirmative action is maybe not the best?
So if you don't agree with affirmative action, you're racist?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're a racist, but I mean, you should probably look at history and see like, hey, why do we have affirmative action and what's the importance of it? Yeah. I mean, whenever you gotta realize that people, I've been hired in college before because they told me I'm black. Right. That's not acceptable. Right. So it's like, it gets used in sometimes used in good ways, sometimes used in bad ways. Moments like that, it's like, okay, cool, I'll rather you look at like my qualifications, see like, hey, what is it that I do? Right. And see like, okay, great, you're the best candidate for this versus like, okay, well, you got it because you're black. Okay. So I mean, it's just
so it sounds like you're saying that maybe affirmative action not a great thing if someone's just hiring you because it's
sweet. We'll be checking it out.
I think
and that's all
I got a video that Chopper sent me. I want to play too.
On the race, right? And honestly, that's got to.
If I get time to do a desktop stream,
I've accomplished a lot. I'd rather you look at my.
I'll be checking it out, Scrub.
Because you're black. That seems racist to me.
Well, I mean, part of the thing is like, I don't know, like no offense to you, I don't know if white people understand this, but it's like black people just get looked over all the time. Where it's like, it doesn't matter what our accomplishments are. If you look at me on a piece of paper, and white person on a piece of paper, it's two different experiences.
Okay.
I've seen it firsthand in corporate America. I've seen it firsthand in universities.
So this is one thing that I think maybe we can you maybe come to a place about it with white people. Let's say I'm a white business owner. Okay. You just voiced displeasure, and I understand with someone not hiring you, looking at 2 resumes because they don't necessarily okay. But then you also said that it was kind of crappy that someone hired you because you're black. What's a white business owner to do?
I mean, here's the thing. It shouldn't have to be something that's a policy that's there. It should just be something that you're doing, which is the right thing to do. It shouldn't be like a thing of, okay, cool, I know I need to increase my diversity numbers, because that's really what it is. I need to increase my diversity numbers, and then from there, then we're going to hire black people. So it's like, no, that's just the right thing to do. They're your customers.
What is the right thing to do to hire based on race, or to hire based on qualifications?
Hire diversity. Have a diverse workforce.
But what if they're not the best person?
Hey, you can find. If like they say, Beyonce can find 14 black trombones. I'm sure you can find one black person to join your team. It's not that hard.
But somewhere there's likely Japanese American trombonist who got screwed out of a job, was very good at it, just like Harvard and Brown, right? Who had higher SAT scores.
Which is fine. I mean, it's one of those
it's
things.
fine. It's one of those things.
I mean, it's one of those things where you know what you want. So it's like, okay, if you know what you want, then like.
But what if you don't want? What if you just want the best trombonist?
Then go check.
Okay, so it sounds. Rather than hire the best person and do what you want, and it shouldn't be policy to force on someone, because that doesn't turn someone not racist. Like, if my husband's not going to hire black people because of affirmative action, no matter what, right? But maybe someone else might hire you just because you're black, and that's a crappy feeling, as opposed to your accomplishments. Yeah. Okay, no, I think that makes sense. I was trying to make sure that we actually, in safe spaces we were talking about, that could apply to like black, white, gay, straight. I would assume that would also be kind of, as far as identity, intersect, all that. These things that you're talking about. Yeah. All right. No, I appreciate it. I'm glad we had this conversation. And I know you got boy, it's like I'm sweating like a stuck pig here. So no, I appreciate you taking the time. Thanks, bro. Well, there you have it. We'll continue to test my hypothesis that the narrative the mainstream media is so desperately trying to force down your throats may not be reflective of what you experience in the real world. And hey, just look at how much can be accomplished by actually talking with people. Grab your neighbor, pick their brains, ask them questions that they might have been afraid to, and you might be surprised with the answers. And please, listen. You may find that you have a lot more in common with your fellow American, black or white, than you think. If you want more of these, hit like, comment below. This has been Black and White on the Gray Issues. If you like this video, subscribe and consider joining us for our next installment of
I hope you feel better soon, Scrub.
Get a little spicy.
And now I feel like I'm in a track.
To see behavior that you have exhibited here, not myself. And you can rewind it.
That's what you think of black women.
Remember, none of this is possible without you. Join the fight and sign up for Mug Club today at louderwithcrowder.com/Mug Club. Gain access to an unrivaled catalog of unapologetic and entertaining creators, including the Hodge Twins, Nick DiPaolo, Brian Callum, and of course, Alex Jones. All that and everything you see today is entirely funded by viewers like you. For $89 annually, join the fight at louderwithcrowder.com/Mug Club today.
Eastbound Avenue, apartment 320, crossing Michigan Avenue and back to Avenue. Please for someone knows female and feeling unwell, showing diarrhea and general weakness. Priority 3, Winchester, Hollow 9.
American Dispatch for Norman Power. That's the westbound address.
Apologies, sir. It is going to be at Norman Towers there. I will going to update it to westbound.
Copy that. Control engine 2.
Clear, thank you.
Really? Let's get the full clip, guys. How did that transition take place? You get it on there, yeah? Putin's the one. Show gallery cam, not clam, Jesus, that's disgusting. Show gallery cam because young Putin's in there. Young Putin, I want you to face the camera and apologise because you are responsible. And also, future you should apologise for your needless invasion of Ukraine. That's the very least you could do, although let's face it, NATO took the middle in that 2014 coup. But we'll get to the bottom of that as long as the YouTube guidelines don't prevent it from happening. Let's have a look at how CNN begin to tackle this and sort of, in a sense, what I would say, like, mitigate and provide contingency.
That's all using the phrase blind spots, isn't it?
Oh, that's lovely, that's lovely.
Two different debates, but I mean, Trump was right. I mean, he did make a fortune from China, and Joe Biden was wrong.
Another
Kessler from the Washington.
Okay. Whoa, hello. Did you see that? We nearly started playing the title skit, which we trouble on YouTube because Tricky, the great British Bristol-born genius that wrote those lyrics and actually the entire song in our theme tune, we're not allowed to play that on YouTube. Next time we hear it, I get a little bit angry.
Well, it's medical misinformation.
That is medical misinformation. A lot of things he says in there. He makes all sorts of claims about a particular 4-syllable drug that could fend off the naughty famous cough with barely any effort. Hey, listen to this. So Joe Biden, one of the ways he's handling his peculiar business arrangements with his little lad is by having a multitude of pseudonyms. Now, I will say as a famous person, there are any number of reasons a person might have a pseudonym. You might use a pseudonym, for example, to mask your involvement in some illegal activity. That's it. Yeah. There are no other reasons. No. That is the sole reason. VP Joe Biden used pseudonym Robert L. Peters in emails to Hunter about Ukraine business, but that is not the only pseudonym you use. Some of the others are really stupid. Robert Peters, Robin Ware, and my favourite, JRB Ware. It's me, JRB Ware. You better give my kid a job, or else my name's not JRB Ware. Your name's not JRB Ware. I mean, he can't remember his own actual name. How's he remembering this string of aliases? He's got more aliases than Ethan Hunt, but it's a mission impossible for him just to remember which direction to walk off stage. Now that's a joke, baby, in anyone's language.
How's he come up with that? It sounds like a building suppliers or something.
JRB Ware, do you need gas from Ukraine? You better believe we need gas from Ukraine. But my boy's the fella to provide it. He knows how to work a pipe. I'll tell you that now and for nothing. Listen, we can't stay on YouTube with this kind of free speech, can we?
No, not.
Speaking freely in this manner, don't be daft. It's not possible. We've got to talk about Moderna making that $400 million payment to the NIH.
Keep getting Amber Alerts on my streaming phone. I thought I turned those off.
This fella, former British medical officer who goes by the name of Jonathan Van Tam, whose name is too similar to both Jean-Claude Van Damme and Jonathan Van Ness, our queer eye, you've got to have a name that's a bit more unique and a bit less confusing. But old Van Tam, Chief Medical Officer, part of his job during the pandemic was recommending that we all take Moderna vaccines. Guess where he's got to work now? By some extraordinary giddy little coincidence, he's got to work at Moderna. Well, he also worked before he took on that role with the government. But the idea that involves some sort of corruption or a revolving door would make you and everyone you love a conspiracy theorist. We're going to get into that story with a little more depth. If you're watching us on YouTube, remember we've got Faz Shakir coming on, and I'm going to be asking Faz about how he feels about a Democrat Party that shuts down populist and even popular candidates like Bernie Sanders. We know for a fact that the Democrats would rather have lost to Trump than won with Bernie. They push legacy career politicians, and it seems now that these career politicians, if you look around them, they've got all sorts of aliases, they've got dodgy funds, there's Russiagate scandals, not Russiagate scandals. That's one thing we can learn. Just going to give that a little allegedly, baby. We're going to leave you now. If you're watching on YouTube, click the link in the description. Join us over in the home of free speech as mainstream media declines. We grow stronger. Join us there for the conversation. And if you're watching us on Rumble, why don't you press the red button and join these beautiful people in the Locals conversation? That's not all you get. As well as being part of the free speaking community over there in Locals, you get podcasts, you get access to I'm actually even now involved in the design of a pair of underpants that you will be sent for. Certainly the first 1,500 people to join that become Awakening Wonders will be sent. Do you have any nipples? I can't offer that anymore, Gareth. That was alleged and judged to be inappropriate. There's a line. And some people are disgusting. There's no line here except for a sweet line that runs between these colours. That's the last time you'll ever see them. So I hope you drink it in, guys. Drink it in. There's no more of that, let me tell you. So Moderna's paid the government $400 million. Should we have a look at that? Should we have a look at that hearing in Australia? One of the things you'll love if you're a global citizen is the easy, casual way that Australia do government. Yes, of course, they're willing to pilot peculiar schemes. Like what were they piloting last week in Australia? WorldCoin or something like that. Oh yeah, they're shutting down people's currencies. Also, they sort of piloted some pretty shady internment camps during the pandemic period. Certainly a lot of our community said they were treated appallingly in Australia. Well, now those chickens have come home to roost. There's an inquiry going on about Moderna's conduct and expenditure, and in particular Moderna's liability, i.e. if Moderna's products, in particular the vaccine, caused injury, and there's significant reports that they did and do, did they put aside any money for liability to compensate the variously injured Australians affected by that product? Let's have a look at that hearing now.
Major profits, does Moderna plough back into helping people who are injured by the vaccine?
I was going to say,
watch this. This shows you how the system works. The answer to that is none. Now look how long it takes them to not get to none. Right, the answer is like in a very Australian. Now listen, mate, I'm going to ask you slightly more words with the microphone barbecue. We could be chatting about cricket. We could be chatting about climbing. We just happen to be chatting about Moderna. Now, how much money did you put aside for vaccine injuries? The answer is we didn't put any aside. There's all of its profits. And to remember, when we manufactured the vaccines, deals were done to grant us indemnity. So in the event that there were injuries, the government would be liable, and taxpayers would have paid for the development of those drugs, the purchase of those drugs, and now, out of court, presumably, settlements for the injuries caused by those drugs. That's the actual answer. Look how much prevarication and nonsense goes on.
We are aware that there is sort of an indemnity for COVID-19 suppliers, but indemnities are obviously matter for government to decide. I can't comment.
So Moderna doesn't put any of its profits back into helping the victims of injuries from the Moderna vaccine, is that correct?
Moderna is a company that's focused on manufacturing vaccine.
Really good answer, isn't it? Oh, I know what you're asking me. When you said do reasonable side medically help people being damaged by vaccines, you must have meant, is Moderna a company? Moderna is a company. That's what all right, well that clears that up there. That's just the whole of the world we live in, isn't it? A world where you know that people take jobs in government after working at Moderna, then get another job after being in government recommending Moderna products and go to work for Moderna again. You recognise this, you know that the world's made up of hearings like this, where there's prevarication, obfuscation and avoidance instead of plain justice. So when you see someone like Donald Trump, in particular Donald Trump, on your TV saying Hunter Biden was given millions of dollars by Ukrainian and Chinese energy companies, and Joe Biden, that is a lie, that is a lie, but don't take my word for it, talk to my friend J.R.B. Huxtable, he'll tell you, I'll tell you now, that boy's a good kid. You know, and it turns out that Trump, the one that's currently being indicted, was telling the truth. I'm not saying that Trump should be indicted, I know loads of you will be saying that, but guess who else should be indicted? Let us know in the locals chat right now, press that red button, and let's watch out for a little bit more of this corporate double speak over there in Australia.
The matter of indemnity for vaccine suppliers is a matter for government.
So you're not prepared to underwrite the risk of your own vaccine. You're not prepared to actually put money where your mouth is when it comes.
Mine drummer on the chat says, put another Pfizer on the Barbie, mate. Nice.
The safety of your vaccine, is that correct?
So just before you answer this question, I'll have to go to Senator Antic after this.
He's on the committee with him, isn't he? And he's shouting him down, or is he a lawyer for Moderna? He's doing sort of dual function. Mate, before you go any further, look, you're getting perilously close to revealing the truth of the degree of corruption that's been involved in this entire pandemic farrago. So, couldn't we talk about something else? I mean, what's the point of this anyway? Shouldn't we just all go outside and enjoy ourselves? What's Australia founded on? Getting bloody chlamydia from koalas and having prisoners rise through the ranks to offices of... No,
I mean, what we know, there's only a certain amount of politicians who will be asking questions like this. We've got the same situation in America. Rand Paul is one of very few politicians who are actually asking questions to vaccine manufacturers. Bernie Sanders asking about the kind of financial side. Rand Paul asking about side effects and things like that.
He's like this, isn't he?
He's like that.
That's what Bernie Sanders is like. I'm going to do that for Fat Shakir. We've got one of Bernie Sanders' advisors coming on. We're going to say, why has the Democrat Party become so sort of largely defunct? How are they ever going to serve unions when they clearly only operate according to the whims and will of their corporate sponsors? And we used to have a sponsor, an MP over in this country. He mentioned vaccines. They just said you can't have a job no more, didn't they? What was he called? Marcus Brigstock?
Yes,
that's the comedian.
Someone like
Andrew
that.
Bridgehead. Brightside Revisited.
That's it.
He was called Brightside Revisited, and this kid had a bright future, but then he went out of line and he mentioned the vaccines, and do you know what he's doing now? Flipping pennies for blowjobs under a bridge. Oh, man. Andrew Bridgehead was his name. He's up on the screen now. Let's have a look at these Aussies mucking around with sweet lady justice.
Just the last question then.
Back to you.
Just yes or no, you're not prepared to underwrite the safety of your own vaccine?
We take safety of our vaccines very seriously.
Yeah, good. That's because that was the question. Yeah.
We have a very good pharmacovigilance process in place, in fact, a comprehensive one. However, I would only reiterate that indemnities are a matter for policymakers.
But what about a moral, social conscience of putting some of your profits back into helping victims of the vaccine?
About your morals and stuff like that. Like, ain't you got no morals? What's wrong with you? Why don't you care about morals, stuff like that? Ain't you ever caught chlamydia off a koala before? How'd you even get it? What'd you do? Drag them down from that eucalyptus tree? You know they're half drunk. You know that their claws look like duffel coat buttons, don't they? Of Paddington Bear's coat. That's what their claws is like. You don't want one of them going crazy, get you? You're bloody lucky you only got chlamydia, mate, because they could slash off your goo as soon as look at you. And I say that as an investigative reporter. That's me now. That's the news. We're all done.
Yeah.
Time to wrap it up. Time to wrap it up. Join us over on Locals, you beautiful bastards, why don't you? What we're going to talk about now, Mandy Cohen, CDC director. What's she saying lately?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I? Of course I haven't. Or should we do some free speech? Because I love freedom of speech. And where freedom meets speech, you get free speech. And where free speech meets, you get freech. Well done, everyone. Let's see what your free speech is about. Hey, Navigator says morals are for people. Moderna is a company. Yeah, using that psychopath analysis. Love it. No Dugganoko. I always struggle to say his name. No Dugganoko. Can you hyphenate your name, mate, so I can read it easier? No Dugganoko says, I think it may be best if everyone just goes to DC one at a time and does a real insurrection. Whoa, baby, that's insurrectionist talk, wasn't it? No Dugganoko. You free speeched me right into a corner there, you saucy little bastard. Oh, you dirty sod. Right, let's have a look at these people's free speech. I remember when I had Dr. Paul Saladino come on the show, and he's telling us that we're mad to be vegans, we're mad, that we should just, any time a cow goes by, kick it up its tit hole and drag it down and bite a lump of it off. That's basically what he said, wasn't it, Paul Saladino? Kick its tits in and gobble it down.
Exactly that.
Gareth, all right, I admit, I'm paraphrasing. I've got time to do verbatim reports on everything Paul Saladino says, particularly when I think we're about to see a clip of him saying, when you, and I get no pleasure from doing this, when you shit yourself, you don't even need to wipe your bottom. That's what he says.
I don't think he meant shit yourself as in
You're out the streets,
accidentally.
you've been out on the, you're Australian perhaps, you've been out on the booze, you've snogged a koala, you've ridden with chlamydia, you shat yourself in your undies, mate, and you don't even have to wipe your own ass pipe. That's what Saladino's saying, but why take my word for it? Here's that happening now.
Come on, I'm going to show you guys how I poop. So, obviously I sit here, but I actually...
I'd like to think you'd take your shorts off, mate. I mean, like this.
You were right after all.
See, he's just going to do it. I'm like, maybe Paul Saladino, just a little crystal orb comes out of his bum. Like an entirely transparent crystal orb comes out of his bumhole. And yes, and someone's commented in the gallery, you should also generally lift the lid when you do shit. Otherwise, it's going to just smudge up under there, and what you'll get is like a mask, sort of like a papier-mâché mask of your own ball bag or labia.
But it would
be like an imprint of them, as if you was going to make a model of them.
It'd be a very different video, though, if Paul did actually take his trousers and pants off. And I mean, you'd start to get uncomfortable pretty quickly.
I wouldn't. I'd just watch it and watch that crystal orb come out of his bumhole. And I bet he's got really lovely organs. I bet they're in real good nick.
Of course they are.
What, the way he eats.
Look at that stance.
Look at that stance, like a buffalo stance.
Spread those legs.
Spread them up, yeah, get them shorts right tight around your legs.
Don't use toilet paper. This is just for the guests. I have a bidet.
Yeah, wait, what if a guest comes in, Paul?
On this toilet, because I learned that toilet paper, paper towels, all kinds of paper products that we use contain BPA and other xenoestrogens. I don't want to rub my butt with that.
No way, I don't want ecoestrogens up my pipe, do you, mate?
Absolutely not.
No way.
Not after the last time.
No way, some of them still up there.
So I just use a bidet and I rinse.
Day, mate. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. That was wrong. But like the thing is I thought he just left it. Now he washes it out.
We've been missold on this.
I thought he just leaves his bumhole alone.
We thought it came out.
Does that?
We thought exactly. Oh, he just washes it in a different way. Why is he all proud of this?
He's not the new king of rock and roll, is he? He's not revitalised the music.
No, I thought the point was that he doesn't require anything else.
He doesn't require anything. I thought what we were sold, Gareth, is this guy basically. His shit don't stink. We were sold that this guy, what comes out of his butthole is so pristine, he doesn't even need to wipe it.
Just a fully formed, perfect little...
Like you don't need to touch. You can relax his bumhole, so open like that, it just sort of drops out. Like as if he's doing a drug run, like he's just been down to El Salvador, picked up a key and then just drops it above the Louisiana swamps, and then the hillbillies can pick it up there and distribute Paul Saladino's poop.
And nothing's hit the sides.
Nothing's hit the sides. You could eat your dinner off Paul Saladino's bumhole. That's what we were promised, that you could sit down there and eat your dinner out of Paul Saladino. And yet, is that the fact?
It doesn't seem to be, does it?
He's got to wash all the shit off the edges in a hose pipe. It's disgusting. He'll be up there for ages. It's like, do you know what it's like after Paul Saladino's done a poo? It's like in Pulp Fiction when they kill that lad by mistake. Marvin, I think he's called. They have to put blankets down his trousers.
God, it's worse than regular poos.
Oh, let's have a look how he winds his up in 20 seconds. He's basically a pervert.
That's how I poop. But be aware that paper towels, printer paper, toilet paper, tampons.
use printer paper or a tampon.
I'm using a tampon to
I'm
wipe
using
my...
a tampon to wipe my bottom.
We're not animals.
What
Just
have
'cause-
you done to your anus
Oh,
that you
my.
have to put a tampon
Hey,
in
Conk.
there? Well, I don't know. That's his business. Of course it is.
Get ready to go. I might do a desktop stream today.
You and your anus.
You do you.
You
But
do
it's
you.
gonna be busy.
You do
It's
what the hell
Monday.
you want up there. If you want to
I'll see you
that
guys
on a
later.
party pipe, that's
Thank you
your
for riding with
prerogative.
me.
No, we
Thanks for
don't
popping
anyway.
in. I appreciate it.
A lot of these paper products contain BPA and other